So I know this isn't a political channel, but I had some words that I feel like could really inspire people. Could hopefully lift up their spirits in this chaotic time, as it always is. So as you know, election season is coming, and yeah, here we are forced to choose between the two parties. We're free to choose. Here are the two people you can choose from. I don't know about you guys, also, but uh, the genocide happening in Gaza is just very. It, 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 it takes a toll on me, obviously, not as much as the people who are actually dealing with it, but it has been over a year, and there are various times where it just really affects my mental health because I just feel so freaking useless in all of this. I feel like there's nothing I can do about it except spread awareness or maybe go to protests or protest businesses. But God, I just feel so useless in it, and it feels like our leaders, both sides, are just procuring it, and nothing is happening. And of course, election season is coming up. And before, back when we were, back in like the middle of the year when, the genocide in Gaza was really bad, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, we're not voting Democrats because they are funding Israel. They are funding the bombs who are killing tens and thousands of innocent families. And that is not something any of us want to stand for. And lately, I've seen a lot of people backpedaling that, mainly due to the Republicans' release of Plan 2025. And a lot of people are like, okay, so how are we going to do this? Like, I guess we got to vote for the lesser of two evils. And I don't know about you guys, but I am up to here with that. I am so unbelievably sick of voting for the lesser of two evils. I can't stand the fact that we have to do this every election. It pisses me off. And so this has really been conflicting with me and probably a lot of other people. It's like, what do we do? Who do we vote for? This is just so ridiculous. We're going to have to vote for someone who we don't like just because we don't like this person even more. I saw this video. It was Al Jazeera, I believe. It was an interview with a guy named Howie Emmer, who is this legendary protester. He was back protesting in 1968 against the genocide in Vietnam that the US was enacting. And he had some incredible words that really comforted me during this time. And I think it can comfort a lot of people. So just listen to what he has to say. Just listen to this.
If so many people don't vote for the Democratic Party and Trump becomes president, it is not people's fault. It is the fault of the Democratic Party, because when you're arming Israel and being a partner in genocide, you're the problem.
It is not the fault of the people. It is the fault of the Democratic Party. That is unbelievably sobering. That is so clear. Every election, we are held in this stronghold by the Democratic Party, pretty much. They are complicit in that. I feel like we're being blackmailed with them going, hey, I know we're pretty bad, but those guys, those are even worse, so you gotta vote for us. And then every time the Democrats lose, when Trump won in 2016, the Democrats, they blamed the people. They said, oh, it's your fault, you didn't vote for us. What's the matter with you? Just how awful is that for them to put the blame on the people? When they never get shit done. And every time someone says this, is like, oh, just not wanting to vote for Democrat, or even just offering to vote third party, there's always someone who gets in there and says, oh, that's not smart, that's not wise, you're throwing away your vote. And this happens every election too. Last election, probably before that, I think like 8 years ago, I was talking with this guy, and he said, like, oh, we just need to get out of the burning building right now and fix it. That's what they always say. They say, okay, let's just elect the lesser of two evils, then after that, we'll figure out a better candidate. We never do. We never do that. And I'm sick of waiting. their little mantra of vote blue no matter who. No, not no matter who. Who are you? I need to know who you are. I'm not voting for you just because blue is your favorite color or because you're in my political party. Which is not my political party, for the record. But yeah, I'm not vote blue no matter who. That is a thought killing mantra. That is a thought terminating mantra. Oh, it's the people's fault. You didn't vote for you. No, I'm not voting for you because you suck. You're terrible. You're awful. I don't like you. I'm not gonna choose you just because I'm forced to. No other competition works like that. If you're judging a chili competition, you're not gonna have some guy go up and be like, "Hey, I know my chili tastes like turd, but that guy's even more turdy. So you better vote for my chili." Did the Oscars work like that? Are there any producers that are like, "Hey, our movie is terrible, but that guy's movie is even worse. Better vote for ours." No competition in the history of humanity works like that. So why on earth would the most important competition of our country operate that way? And I'm not saying this to be nihilistic. I am not a doomer. I have political leanings of my own, which I won't get into here. But I will say this. If third party gets 5% of the vote, that's enough for them to secure government funding. 5%. That's a relatively small number. If we can just get 5%, then we can at least get another option. Maybe that option won't be good either. Who knows? Depending on what third party is, if it's the Green Party or maybe a Labor Party. But at least we're not going to be trapped with choosing between the same two political parties we've been trapped with for the last 200 years. That Democrats love to use third party as a scapegoat. Like, oh, cause we didn't win because you voted third party. Like, yeah, again, we didn't vote for you because you're not good. You suck. You're terrible. I'm not voting for you because I don't like you. Be someone I like, and then I'll vote for you. Which, yeah, then once they get funding, they get more power. So, yeah, it's obvious to see why Democrats and Republicans both don't want third parties in the government, and why they constantly try to demonize it. I keep seeing signs that are like, vote no on number 3, don't be like California. Like, okay, that doesn't tell me anything of what number 3 is. You just don't want us to be like California, so is this a leftist thing? Then I see another sign that's like, vote yes on number 3. Everyone deserves equal rights. Like, just the most basic progressive slogan, everyone deserves equal rights. I don't know. I still don't know what number 3 is. America has permeated this culture of just voting and not knowing why we vote. Not reinforcing the reasons why we are supposed to vote. It's become a game and a trend to people. It's become a game to those higher up who are just trying to win. And it's a trend to all of us down here who, some of us still think voting matters. Not saying it doesn't matter completely, but it's not a trend, guys, okay? It's much more serious than that. People's rights and people's lives matter here. So again, I was hoping to try and maybe lift the weight off of people's shoulders. I know one was definitely lifted off of mine. I feel much better after hearing Howie Emmer's thoughts. And just keep that in mind. If the Democratic Party does not win, it is not your fault. It is the Democratic Party's fault. Just keep that in mind. Just remember that.